How are you guys doing? It's been a while since I last posted. I hope you're doing well, even as you're getting ready for Easter. I hope you're safe, staying home, cleaning your hands, sanitizing. I hope you're happy with your family. Yeah, generally, I hope you're doing well. I'm wishing you a happy Easter in advance. So it's been a while since I last posted anything, and that's because I needed like a small break. Yeah. So today I'm doing a story time about my piercing that that backfired on me, or that didn't work out. So I went to get a piercing. Okay, I have my friend in school has a really beautiful piercing here. It's really bomb, and I remember all the time I used to tell her, wow, I really love your piercing, I would like to get one like yours there. I was asking her, is it really painful? And she's like, no, it's not painful, imagine. It healed fast, it's not painful. I like mine, and it looks so bomb on her. So when we closed school, I think we closed on like 8th June. I went to get my piercing on 10th June. So I went where I got my other kawaida piercing. I went to that salon, whatever. And I met the woman who did my other piercing. I was like, hi, I would like to get another piercing here. And she looked at me like, who gets a piercing there? I was like, yeah, I want to get a piercing there. She like examined the part and she was like, okay, let me get a smaller earring, because if we use a bigger earring, this part on your ear is really small and it will just cover, the earring will just cover the whole part. So she got a tiny earring. Okay, I was like, okay, sawa. She took the gun thing and just like got my piercing here. Okay, to me it wasn't really painful at first. I was like in shock. It was really like it was really tight, and it was almost next to my like face line, whatever it's called. Like it made it so tight. It was like here. Okay, I'm not sure you can see that part, but it wasn't too painful. So when I got home, it was I was feeling quite uncomfortable. I came home, I showed my mom. Hey mom, I got a new piercing. She was like, wow, it looks nice, you just take care of it well. So I used to like wipe it, Jude, what, you know, the whole process of just taking care of your piercing. And I remember I used to stare at it like every 30 seconds. I'm like, wow, I love my piercing, even if it wasn't looking like normal, because that part was a bit swelly. But I was like, it will be fine because it's a new piercing and all. I really loved my piercing, but it didn't even last for like 6 days. So Monday was when I got my piercing. Tuesday, the whole cleaning thing. Wednesday, Thursday. So on Friday afternoon, we had a visitor coming home. So I went and hugged her. I don't know how, like, I don't know what how hard her jawline is. Okay, I don't know. But when I hugged her, like like I don't know how she hugged me, but the piercing got into like this part, this, okay, that part. It got inside there, like it entered. It was really painful. I don't know how she hugged me. So like I was like, what, Jesus Christ, if it got in there, I'm not sure I wanted to get it out. So like I just kept quiet, went to my room, and I just looked at it, and like half part of the earring had like gotten inside that part. And when I was trying to like push it, it was hella painful. So I told my mom, our mom, my piercing has a problem, because this woman hugged me and half of it is in. So my mom was trying to push it. I'm like, no, I can't handle the pain. So she was like, you know what, you will not stay like that. Tomorrow morning you're going to the hospital to get it removed, because if it sticks there you can get an infection. Hey, so I just knew, wow. Like I was super nervous. I remember I was like telling her, Aki, what did I do wrong to deserve all this pain? Because even when I got my first kawaida piercing, I got this other piercing when I was 3 with my cousin, but mine blocked and my cousin still had the piercing. So I didn't. So when my one part blocked, this one was like functioning ish. I stayed like that till like I was 17. After form 4 is when I went and got the piercing once again. So I was like, what happened to me? Like my piercings keep backfiring on me. Like that night I was so scared. I was just imagining the pain I would go through to just remove that piercing. Because just touching that part that evening was so painful. I could not even imagine myself like going to the hospital, and I knew they would just remove it like ruthlessly, not as gently as my mom was trying to remove it. It was so painful. So that night I was like, I tried to sleep on this other side, but maybe I forgot and just slept. I just slept whichever way I slept. So in the morning, the whole thing had gotten inside. You could not even see the earring at all. It was inside that's a space there. I'm touching it, it's painful. Then it had some secretions, whatever it's called. So I was like, what? My mom was like, no, you have to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital that day. Like I was just walking like, oh God, please help me out, because I don't know what I'm going to do if it gets this that bad. I was a little so grumpy. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was just stressed even in the line. So when I entered I called I think my mom called my dad and told him I'm not feeling well. So my dad came to the hospital that day. He came to the hospital. So before I got into the hospital, my dad was already there. I didn't even tell him. I didn't even have the energy to tell him what had happened. I just looked at him and told him I'm not feeling well. He told me, Sawa, just get into the doctor's office. So I got in there. I'm trying to explain myself, and the doctor is finding it funny, and I'm scared. He's like, hey, what were you thinking of when you got that piercings joining and all those like nasty comments? And I don't know. So he told me, you just go to the minor surgery room. Wow. I just had the word minor surgery room, and I just like I was weak, by the way. So I just opened the door, walked out. I'm thinking about my life at the moment. I'm so scared. I know now this is no child's play. So I stepped out of the doctor's office and then knocked the minor surgery room. I went to the minor surgery room. I knocked it and opened it. Then he followed me. He told me, you need to lie on this nini, on the bed, the hospital bed. So I didn't know it would get that intense. I was shaking. I was scared because I think I have low pain tolerance. I think because I was so scared. Then he was like, I heard him telling another nurse, hebu nilete wembe. And I was like, no. I was like, where are your washrooms? I can't, like, I don't know. I just left Kwanzaa, thought, and then just composed myself. I came back, lay on that like bed. Then I saw him taking a blade. I'm like, so you just inject me. I don't know what that injection is called. Just inject me, whatever it is, to numb the pain. He's like, what? This is such minor pain. What do you mean that he inject you to drain it? People go through worse pain than that. What do you mean? Ebu vumilia, sijui what? I was like, no, please inject me. Then he started like pushing it. Bila ku inject, he like started like trying to pull it, to remove it, like to press that part to remove that piercing. And the piercing is stuck in this part. You know how painful that can get. So I'm like, so what's wrong with this individual? Seriously. So I pleaded with him. I've never begged for an injection in my life. Then he brought the syringe and whatever, the needle. Then I had the injection here. The injection was so painful, but was like, hey, Bora, it just numbs the whole pain thing. So immediately after injecting, without even waiting for it to like work on that part, to numb the part, he takes a cotton pad and to do what it was, wipes it, and then takes a blade. I'm like, hey, there's no turning back. You need to deal with it now. So he takes the blade and just I feel him cutting the back part. It was painful. I was just holding the bed like. So by the time he like cut the back part, yeah, I just felt him cutting it. It was painful, but I was like, no turning back. It has started. We need to keep it moving. I need to get it done and dusted. So he just cut that part kidogo. Then when he took another thing. I don't know what it's called, to pull it out now, because he had already cut the back part. Now he wanted to pull it out. So it was At that time, like I started feeling like the numbness was like setting in, so it wasn't really bad. So he just pulled it out. Wasn't too painful, the pulling out part. And then he put it in a, what is it called, in a cotton pad, and gave me, and he was like, ndio hii sijui your piercing ama nini. So savage. I was like, hey, thank God it's out. But I was bleeding on that other side. So he gave me like a cotton pad with something, and then I was holding it with blood. So I'm done. He was like, oh, you see, it wasn't so painful. I was like, it's painful, but I've just had to persevere. So I just stepped out, and then I went to meet my dad, and he's like, what happened? I'm like, I got a piercing here. And he's looking at me like, how is that even possible? I like explained the whole thing. He was like, oh, you'll be fine. Sorry. Because he had just traveled back home. I was happy. And then we just went home. And I was like, getting another piercing for me will take some time. Because imagining the pain I went through, I'm like, uh-uh. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video. Like, share, subscribe, and have a wonderful Easter. I hope this corona thing will be, COVID-19 thing will be over as soon as possible, so that we can get our lives back together. Pray for our country, pray for your families, and all. Have a lovely, lovely weekend day, whichever time you're watching this. Bye. Love and light.